And I used to say to mom, or she would say to me, wouldn't it be great if you could actually sit at that counter and have a full meal while the chef talks
Mhm.
and you could ask questions of them? So mom comes up with an idea to do the first show. The first show, the entire show,
Yep.
was how to
I was
make
there.
a Caesar salad.
Hail Caesar is what we
Hail
called it.
Caesar.
Yep.
And tickets were $30.
And so Caesar salads had an interesting rustic kitchen background, partly because there's a whole story of Caesar, and it's in Mexico, right, or in Southern California. It's a good story. We wanted something to
Yeah.
talk about while we were prepping it, and
Yes.
that someone that could make it home. We want what could you make it home easily that somehow connected to Rustic Kitchen and had a story behind it.
One of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted Liz to slide down the pole. So Liz looks at me and she lets me know in a few choice words, I'm not going down that pole. So I'm like, okay, well, with the magic of television, we can still get the shot.
Okay.
And what we did was we filmed Liz going down out of the camera frame, and then we film her at the very bottom of the pole coming down, getting off and
Go
saying,
up a ladder, and pull a ladder out of the shot, and then slide down 3 feet. Yeah.
And then at the end, as a blooper, we show how we put it all together. And
So
Dennis loved that.
This became like episode 1.
This was episode 1.
Comcast.
This was a pilot for Comcast, right?
Where we went up to we did oyster fishing. We went lobster fishing. We went to a beef farm. We went to Flower Bakery with Joanne Chang, Fenway Park. So yeah, when you think of our last time filming together was probably the foodie. What are your memories of that?
That was actually much more, I feel like in a lot of ways that was much more traditional TV. But it's, more of like a documentary. I mean, and that was a really hard shoot too. Because those lobstermen they were good on camera, but they were not waiting around for anything. That was like, we were out here
I think salty would be a good way to describe them. They were some salty Mainers.
And very, very much so.
All kinds of different things, because we were actually running a real kitchen. It was a real cooking show. People were dining, they were drinking, and we were recording it all and then turning them into these television assets.
We were
And
the
we
only
had
ones doing a cooking show inside a restaurant.
Right.
I think about that all the time. Yeah. And the way that you guys put it together, the way that it hosted, the way that we recorded and created these episodes, nobody did that. And we got our second and third Emmys.
Yeah.
So Liz wins Best Host. We had already won Best Interstitial. Did you win Best Host? No, we won Set Design twice.
Set Design
Yes.
You
twice.
win Best Host. We won Set Design twice.
You beat out, Liz beat out
some big names.
like
Yeah.
host moderator in New England.
That's right. And they get to know her so well that they see her every year and they watch her. They ask her to become a presenter, which was a great honor.
Yeah, you were a presenter.
I forgot about
Liz
that.
was presenter for that. I forget what category she
Because
presented
we were drinking
for.
a lot in those days. Yeah.
So, Michael, when we were building some of our restaurants, you have Scotty, you have Jake, you have, us, we have Cy, we have people. So we're bringing this world-class team of people to do a restaurant for ourselves, which, once we launched Rustic Kitchen. So we're putting a facility on the market that looks and feels and has the value of 3 or 4 times what it cost us to build. And, in the studios themselves alone, we built a studio for $450,000 that someone else couldn't do for $1.5 million.
You show up with your pirate ship of contractors, and you guys put it together.
You learn to be a tough guy if you're going to run a crew and get things done. And so that part of Scotty he had, but he turned it off. And once he turned it back on, this great character came out that you see on Wicked Tuna. I think you guys were on for the first 3 seasons.
When you walk into a restaurant, it's your senses that are going to tell you if you enjoy your meal.
All 5 senses.
And that was always the best thing about Jimmy's projects is they are always like that. They always look great. They always smell good because they always had good cleaners. And we always did a good job lighting them and made it comfortable on people. That's some of the, the fondest memories I have about the restaurants we did. It was always fun because you'd always have these unbelievable design elements that, how do we make this look good? How do we like that?